So all I'm doing here is just measuring out each ingredient for the recipe. So I'm putting the bowl on the scale, tearing it to 0, adding the ingredient and noting the weight, and then tearing the scale to 0 and doing the next ingredient. I forgot to record me putting the recipe into the new bowl, but to measure the entire recipe, I just put this bowl on the scale and teared it, and then I put the entire recipe into the bowl.
Okay, so I am in My Recipes and Food, which to get to that is just going to be on the menu page of your app. I find this is easier to do on the app, so I'm going to click on My Recipes, and what I did is I went up here and I just added the recipe here. I'll show you real quick for people that don't know, and then enter ingredients manually. So I've already started adding my ingredients right here. I put the title in. I set the serving to 1. So set the serving to 1 and add everything. So this is the entire recipe. The macros, the entire recipe, which is the, well, it's supposed to be, 1.05. I added the 1.05 pounds of lean ground beef. I didn't weigh it cooked. I just knew the measurements for what was raw. So inputted that. I've got my 201 grams of lettuce, 115 grams of tomatoes. So what I do when I type in these things is I type in USDA, because then it gives me a serving that is, you can switch it, like you can do 1 gram or 1 ounce or whatever. So I always look USDA and then change the serving to 1 gram so I can add exactly how many grams I used. So that's what I did for the tomato. I used 108 grams of black beans, 88 grams of red onion, 28 grams of the cheese, and 17 grams of the dressing. So once I have all of that, I'm going to weigh the entire serving. So I forgot to do this, but what I did was I took the bowl that I had weighed everything in, and then I just dumped everything into a different bowl on the scale. So when I did that, oops, what am I doing? When I did that, it equaled out to be, let me check. It weighed 1597, so 1,597 grams. So what I do is I leave this page, the ingredients page, click this arrow, and it'll say save recipe. It'll have the macros for the entire recipe. Well, I go to serving, and now we're going to enter the 1597. Boom. So you're going to get a really low number. It's going to be calories 1 and then a bunch of zeros. That's fine. Save it. Save it, save it, save it. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to add it to diary. And I had 403 grams. So I'm going to add it into my diary. I'm going to add the 403, 403 grams. All right, and as we can see, so 403 grams, which if you think about it, so it was 1,600 grams pretty much. So if I had 400 grams, I had about a fourth of the recipe. So fourth of the recipe, 250 calories, 10 grams fat, 10 grams carbs, and 28 grams protein. Awesome, awesome. So add that to the diary, and then all I need to do, I added Doritos in to mine. So I did it that way so the Doritos wouldn't get soggy, and so I would also know exactly how many Doritos I added. Sorry, I got a Doritos nacho cheese. 28 grams, so I had half a serving, which is 14 grams. So again, like I always try to like find one that's got the exact grams. And to do that, you can just search grams. So I could have typed in Doritos grams and come up with something. 14 grams, so I had just added 4 grams fat, which was so worth it. And boom, that's it.